All right, folks, this is video number 2 for inequalities. We're going to do some examples together. And so I'm going to write down the problem. You write down the problem. I'm going to work the problem. You write down what I work out. And if you have questions, you ask your teacher. And don't pause the video while you're taking notes, because that makes everything take too long. So 6 plus 4, parentheses, x minus 3, close parentheses, less than or equal to 7x. So we're going to solve this. And in a couple of our practice problems today, there's going to be answer choices. So the answer choices are x is less than or equal to -2, x is greater than or equal to 10, x is less than or equal to 10, and x is less than or equal to -2. So one of these is the correct answer. We're going to solve this problem. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're given an inequality problem or an equation like this to solve, do your work right next to it. Do your own work right next to it. So let's rewrite this again. 6 plus 4, parentheses, x minus 3, close parentheses, less than or equal to 7x. All right, so the first step is always to distribute. So I'm just going to drop down the 6. 4 times x is 4x. Positive or negative is a negative. 4 times 3 is 12, less than or equal to 7x. Next step is always to collect like terms. The only thing, there's nothing over here to collect. The only thing that's the same here is this 6 and this -12. 6 minus -12 is -6, plus 4x, less than or equal to 7x. Now, a couple of ways to do this. You can take the x to the side if you like. It's not a problem. Let's just stick with our idea that we're always going to put the x's on the left. Okay, let's just put the x's on the left. So in order for the x's to be on the left, I need these to be 0. So I need this to be 0, and the way I make 0 is subtracting 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. If I do it on one side, gotta do it on the other side, 7x. So this next step is to make 0 with the x's. 0 with the x's. So now this is 0, less than or equal to 4 minus 7 is -3x, and then I'm going to drop down the -6. Well, I'm almost done because I need these numbers right here, to be on the right-hand side of the equation, because it's exactly what my answer looks like. So I need to make this 0, -6 plus 6. If I do it on one side, got to do it on the other side. So this step is to make 0 with the numbers. That goes away. And now I've got -3x less than or equal to 6. Okay? Now, almost done. Look at our answers. These are all 1x. So I need to make -3 into 1. So I need to make 1 with the x's. To make 1 with the x's, I'm going to divide this by -3. And that becomes 1. It reduces down to 1. If I do it on one side, got to do it on the other side. And we have x, 6 a positive and a negative make a negative. 6 divided by 3 is 2. What symbol goes in this spot? What did we just talk about in the last video? Whenever we introduce a negative, whenever we multiply or divide by a negative, what happens to everything? Everything becomes its opposite, and therefore we need to use greater than or equal to. We need to use the opposite symbol right here. Now, the opposite symbol idea opposite symbol with negatives, it always happens in this step right here. It always happens in this step because this is the step where we're multiplying and dividing. This right here is addition and subtraction. This is the only step that has multiplication and division in it. This is the step at the very end where you need to figure out whether or not you need to flip the symbols. You need to use the opposite symbols because of multiplying or dividing by a negative. So it's always going to be down here in the last step. So which answer is correct? It is, in fact, D. Good. Now, number 2. Example number 2. Example number 2. Now this one's going to take a little bit more writing because some of the problems you're going to see Sorry, I'm collecting my thoughts. Some of the problems you're going to see are you're going to have to work out the problem negative 5 minus 3x less than or equal to 2 times 10 minus 2x plus 3. And the problem is going to give you an inequality. It's going to say which answer choice is not a solution. Which answer choice is not a solution? That's the question you have to figure out, and there's going to be answer choices A, B, C, and D. And in this particular case, the answer choices are 31, 30, 29, and 28. So let's do the math here and figure out which equation is correct. First step is to distribute. I'm going to go a little faster now. So we've got negative 5 minus 3x greater than or equal to 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4x. Drop down the 3. We need to collect like terms here. There's nothing to collect. Collect like terms here. There's a 20 and a 3. So negative 5 minus 3x less than or equal to 23 minus 4x. Let's get all the x's on one side. We're going to make 0 with a positive 4x, and that becomes 1x. Drop down the negative 5. That was a positive. So, and that's a common mistake. Whatever the symbol is here, you got to drop that down so you know what's happening here between the negative 5 and the 1, and it's addition. Drop down the 23. Oh, put my equal sign. I need to get these numbers over here, so I need to make this 0, and I'm going to do that by adding 5. And then I add 5 on this side, and then that's 1x less than or equal to 28. All right, so we're done. The answer is x is greater than or equal to 28. Well, what's my answer here? It says which one of these, did I write that incorrectly? I think I did write that incorrectly. X is greater than or equal to 28. I apologize. My problem is wrong. I wrote my problem incorrectly. And what it should be is there should not be an equal to right here. I apologize for my mistake. So we need to just change that symbol to greater than and not greater than and equal to. I'm sorry. So x is greater than 28. Well, look at all these answer choices here. We need to figure out which one is not true. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to test each one. So if I write 31 is greater than 28, 30, I'm just going to use all the answer choices, is greater than 28, 29 is greater than 28, and then finally 28 is greater than 28. Is 31 greater than 28? Yes. Is 30 greater than 28? Yes. So these are solutions. Is 29 greater than 28? Yes, it's a solution. Is 28 greater than 28? No, 28 is not greater than 28. 28 is equal to 28. This is not a solution, and therefore D is the answer.